I was 16 when this happened, and I've never told anyone the full version. Not even my parents. Not even the police. Because the part that still keeps me up at night isn't the man in the closet. It's what I found out 6 months later. It was a Friday night in early October. Cold enough for a hoodie, but not cold enough to matter. The kind of night that feels like nothing. I'd been babysitting for the Thompson family for about 6 months. Nice neighborhood, quiet street. The kind where everyone had the same mailbox and trimmed lawns and waved at each other from driveways without actually knowing each other's names. It always felt safe. They had one daughter, Lily. She was 7, quiet kid, obsessed with drawing horses. Every time I came over, she'd have a new one to show me. Always the same horse, actually, with a white patch over its left eye. She said his name was Ghost. That night was normal. Her parents left around 6:30. Her mom, Sandra, gave me the usual rundown. Pizza's in the fridge, she's allowed 1 episode of TV, bed at 9. We'll be back around midnight. I locked the front door after they left. I always double-checked it. Deadbolt, chain, good. Lily and I ate pizza in the living room. She showed me a new drawing, Ghost, of course, standing in front of what looked like a barn. We watched a cartoon, nothing weird. At 8:45, I told her it was time to get ready for bed. She brushed her teeth, I tucked her in, I turned on her little nightlight shaped like a cloud. She asked me the same question she always did. "You'll be downstairs, right?" "Yeah, I'll be right there." She seemed satisfied. Around 9:30, I was sitting on the couch scrolling on my phone when the house phone rang. Not my cell, the landline. That immediately felt outdated and strange. Who calls a house phone anymore? I answered it. "Hello?" Silence. Then breathing. Not loud, just faint. I assumed it was a prank call. "Hello?" Click. They hung up. I rolled my eyes. Probably some kid dialing random numbers. 5 minutes later, it rang again. "Hello?" Silence. Then breathing. But this time, closer, like they were leaning into the phone. "Stop calling here." Click. Weird, but still explainable. Wrong number, prank, whatever. At around 10:15, Lily called out from upstairs. "Emma?" Her voice sounded small. I walked upstairs. "What's up?" She was sitting upright in bed. "Is someone here?" My stomach did that little drop. "What do you mean?" "I heard someone walking in the hallway." I forced a smile. "It's an old house, it creaks." She stared at the doorway behind me. I turned quickly. Nothing there. "See, it's fine." I left her door slightly open this time. Back downstairs, I checked the locks again. Front door, locked. Back door, locked. Garage door, locked. I even checked the windows. Everything secure. I felt silly for checking, but I checked anyway. Then, the phone rang again. My chest tightened before I even picked it up. "Hello?" Silence. Then a whisper. "I'm inside." Click. I didn't breathe for a few seconds. My brain tried to rationalize it. Someone calling from outside. Maybe a prank. Maybe someone walking past the house. But the whisper didn't sound distant. It sounded close, like the phone wasn't the only thing near me. That's when I heard something upstairs. A slow, soft sound. Not creaking. Footsteps. Measured. Heavy. Not Lily's. I froze. My first thought was, it's her parents home early. But I didn't hear the door open, I didn't hear keys, and I always hear the garage. Always. Then Lily screamed. Not a dramatic horror movie scream, a real one. Short, sharp. I ran upstairs. Her door was half open. She was standing on her bed, pointing at the closet. "He's in there!" My entire body went cold. The closet door was slightly open. I could see darkness inside, nothing moving. I grabbed Lily's hand and pulled her behind me. I didn't think, I just reacted. As I reached for the closet door, it moved from the inside, just a slight shift. And then a man stepped out. Not masked, not covered, just normal looking, middle-aged, dirty hoodie. He looked just as surprised as I did, like he didn't expect me to be standing there. We were maybe 6 feet apart. That's the part that still haunts me, how close he was. He had been in that closet while I was downstairs answering phone calls, inside the house, watching. I grabbed Lily and shoved her into the bathroom, locked the door. I screamed at him, something like, "Get out!" He didn't rush me. He didn't speak. He just turned and ran down the hallway. I heard him slam something downstairs, probably the back door. I stayed in the bathroom with Lily for 10 minutes before calling 911. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. Police found that the back basement window had been forced open. He must have come in earlier, maybe before her parents even left. He had been inside the house the entire time. The phone calls? Police believed he was calling from inside the house using another extension line in the basement, testing me, scaring me, making sure I stayed downstairs. They never caught him. But here's the part I never told anyone. 6 months later, I was cleaning out my phone, old photos, junk contacts, and I found something that had been forwarded to me. A news article from a town about 40 minutes away. A teenage girl, a babysitting job, a man in a basement. The man they described matched him. Dirty hoodie, middle-aged. The sketch in the article matched the face that stepped out of that closet. They caught him in that case. He was convicted. When I looked up the trial records, I found his name. And then I looked him up the way you look up old neighbors when you're bored. And I found something I wasn't expecting. He had a daughter. Her name was Lily. She was 9 years old, according to her mother's social media. A quiet kid, obsessed with drawing horses. Always the same horse, apparently, with a white patch over its left eye. I never babysat for the Thompson family again. I told Sandra I was too busy with school. I never told her what I found. I still don't know what it means. I'm not sure I want to.